Hey, good morning, fellas. Or just good morning. It's the 28th of May. It's almost 80 degrees already. It's not even, I think it might be 8:30. Um, Today is the day we normally go out as a group for coffee, and I'm to pick my passenger up at 9:20. But before that, got two surprises yesterday, and one of them has to do with my wife, and it's a sad little story about the fate that a lot of older women are going to start sharing. Um, my wife, we went up to Cloudcroft for those of you who know from Friday to Saturday, and on the way back, no, we went up there Saturday, came back Sunday. Monday was Memorial Day. So on the way back Sunday morning, my wife gets a phone call. We're around White Sands, and they asked my wife if my wife used to share an office with this a doctor, female doctor, um, and they asked my wife on Sunday if she had heard from this woman because they assumed that they were friends, and they were actually friends. And my wife said no, she hadn't talked to her for a couple of weeks. And then last night, which was Monday night, my wife got a phone call to see if she knew any of this woman's relatives or how the hospital could get in touch with them because she had a heart attack and died Thursday afternoon, and they found her Monday. Monday morning, and when they couldn't, um, she was a doctor, she was a hoarder. I went one time to see my wife for lunch, and my wife introduced me to this doctor, and she had boxes and boxes and boxes of papers. Anyways, all this woman had was her job, and I don't know if you know what cats do to people when they don't get food. So the cats ate part of her face before they could get to her. The thing is, she doesn't have any family. She was a doctor of nursing. She has a doctorate in nursing. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but anyway, she was CNO, Chief Nursing Officer for the hospital, or one of those titles. Don't quote me on that. But they don't. The hospital did, other than the fact that they knew that she worked for them. Hospital didn't know anything about it. My wife really didn't. She knew she had family back in Mississippi, but didn't have any contact information or anything like that. Um, from what my wife told me about the people who went to do it's called a health and welfare check on her. Her existence outside of work was pretty sad. So again, most men were in the past willing to settle down and build a life with a woman, but it's been made so difficult, and it's so easy for a woman to destroy a man's life that it's just not worth it. And whether you believe it or not, there's more women in the United States than there are men. And there are more older women in the United States than there are more younger women. And I'm talking, let's say, I think there's more from age 35 to 75 and older than there are other than, anyways, doesn't matter. That statistics. I'm getting bogged down with dumb shit. All that to say this, ladies, at some point in time, you're going to figure out there are a lot of things that you can't do on your own. Um, who's going to pick you up and carry you to the car? Who's going to help you walk? Who are you going to lean on? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And the guy you were supposed to marry has been standing right here in front of your face, probably since the time you were 18 years old. So, anyways, it is what it is. But now I'm going to move on to the other guy. Um, there's probably going to be between 12 and 15 guys at this Starbucks. And we basically just take over the older end of it. The guys range from 25 to 71 or 72. Mike might be 72 by now. And I basically sit there and listen. And when I speak, I talk to the guys who are in their 60s and 70s, and I ask them about how their body changes. Is there anything they would wish to do differently? And then I basically answer questions about money and boxing and that, and fighting, handling a gun and a knife and stuff like that. Anyway, all that to say this: there was a guy who was a hardcore. And if you don't know it, this is El Paso is one of the very few blue cities like Austin here in Texas, which means that there are a lot of people in here who have very liberal views. One of the guys that used to be in the group is trying to get back into the group because he got into a fight. Well, basically, he has a very odd set of opinions when it comes to the president, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and how screwed up anybody who doesn't believe that how he believes is just wrong, and he got punched in the mouth. And anyways, it's just, I don't dislike Donald Trump at all, and I think that if I have to choose between him and Joe Biden, I'm going to choose Donald Trump. My mind's already made up with that. Do not think that the liberal views for this city where I live in El Paso are doing anything to help. They just had to let a teacher go because she was trying to tell students that at Franklin High School, students that they couldn't call a pedophile, and that they should call them MATs, mature attracted to people or something like that. I don't know, they were called them. Anyways, and the kids recorded, and it doesn't fucking matter. But this guy just, and if you, I don't push my politics on anybody, but I would say that I have gone from being a middle-of-the-road liberal to a libertarian, and now I guess because they've moved so far, I stayed in the middle, and they have moved so far to the left that I'm actually, the people I identify with are conservative now, and about 10, 15, 20 years ago, I was definitely a liberal, but I can't imagine I would have been crushed with all of the things they've done to Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump. And if it's the choices between him and Joe Biden, it's a no-brainer to me. It'll definitely be Donald Trump. But if you would say that around this guy, he would get indignant. And I mean, it's like he's one of those guys. It wasn't just enough that he had his own opinion. If you didn't agree with his opinion, he had to let you know how wrong you were. And at some point in time, that rubs people the wrong way. You have as much right to speak as I do, but your rights end where mine begin, and you don't get to, no, I didn't punch him in the mouth, but I thought about it. Anyways, and he would just absolutely dominate the conversation we were having. Anyways, he just didn't fit in, so he hasn't been invited, and he's very wounded now that someone punched him in the mouth for saying some of the stupid shit he would say to somebody's face. It's one thing to be on your computer, but when you're so used to typing on your computer that you think you can, you forget that there is actually a low level of violence when you deal with men. That's not our fault. Anyways, when I get back, I'll tell you guys what we were talking about. Now I do this at least twice a month. And I do it for myself, not to teach or to do anything like that, but I take stuff away from the guys who are older than I do, and I tend to monopolize them. Wherever they sit, I sit right on the edge, right on the border of where all of those guys are, and I usually ask them 3 to 5 questions. And most of mine are health concerns, because the guys that are in their 70s, they're not overweight. They walk. They do anyways. Um, but it's just nice. I'll probably get out of. We'll probably spend close to 3 or 3.5 hours there, and I'll maybe get 2 minutes of time. We each take a. If you're new, we each go around the table and we introduce. Anyway, it's not. It's not good. It's just a good thing to be able to speak to. It was a fly. Um, I swear it was a fly. Anyways, you guys, love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can, and if you can't, take care of yourselves. Um, I think it's important that if you have an opportunity to spend some time in a group with men, it can become your tribe. And I have one now. It's a lot, but these are associates. There's only one person in the group I consider a friend, so that's it. And you got to know the difference between an associate and a friend. All right? Like a fort in a G string from West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. Bye bye.